Hi, folks. I'm Maud Mosley. My pronouns are they, them, and welcome back to Tunes Tuesday, a weekly series where I sit down with queer bands and artists to talk to them about their music, their experiences, and so much more. This week, Newcastle-based alt-rock band, the Timewasters, joins me. Hello, folks. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah. Hi, my name's Lucy. I sing and I play the guitar and I also write in the Timewasters. My pronouns are they, them, or she, her. Don't really have a preference over either one. You can use either. And I'm trying to think of an interesting fact about myself. I once owned 16 pet snails. That's a fact.
Okay, I did not know about that. Hello, I'm Phoenix. I use they, them, and he pronouns. I play the bass in the Timewasters, and my bass has like a lot of stickers on. I don't know
about Phoenix. Iris, do you want to go?
Sure. I'm Iris. I play drums for the Timewasters. My pronouns are she, her.
Hi, I'm Matilda, and my pronouns are she, her, and I play keyboard, and I sometimes sing with Lucy.
Well, thank you for each introducing yourselves. It's so lovely to have all of you here, and I am really excited because your debut EP, Party Games, came out at the end of August 2021, which is so recently, and it was independently released under a label that you created for yourselves, Bugs at the Party. Why did you decide to create Bugs at the Party and release your music under it?
Well, I think Matilda, you named it Bugs at the Party.
Yeah, we named it on purpose, didn't we?
Yeah. The distributor that we use to like do our music, basically, when we have to like pay for it, but like once you get like to a certain like it's like I can't think what the thing is, but it's like there's like certain levels to it. So like you've got like the basic one, then you've got like the medium one, then you've got the more expensive one. But they were doing a deal on the medium one, and I was like, investment time. But you basically get to create your own record label. And also, so like we did that and we had to think of a name of it. And then Matilda, you came up with Bugs at the Party.
It sounds weird, but we were like workshopping the names and everyone was just shouting random things out. So Bugs, like ants on a log. I was like, Bugs at a party.
Yeah. Wait, no, wasn't that the day that like I rescued the ant because it was like on the carpet and I was like, I need to save this ant's life, and then everyone was like,
Iris's house has so many bugs. I mean, who knows?
I'm massively terrified of bugs.
Yeah, Phoenix loves it at my place.
Yeah, so we had to create a label for that anyways, but then also like I know Phoenix has this like similar opinion, and I think Matilda and Iris do as well, but like there's a lot of like restrictions when you're part of labels or you have management and stuff, and being able to like do that ourselves, like all of our songs are like authentically us, like we produce and mix everything ourselves, and you know there's some certain people might not particularly like that. It's authentically like our music, and if like you know somebody is going to be releasing it and going to be changing it, then it's not going to be us. So by like doing it all ourselves, like it's like this is like what you get like the Timewasters, you get like Lucy, Phoenix, Matilda, and Iris. His the songs. There you go. Listen to them. We did it ourselves, and they're unchanged. And this is what we want the world to hear. Because like a lot about music is kind of about like wanting what you. I'm outside. I should have expected this. This is a really loud car just went by. I've lost my train of thought now.
No, I definitely see where you're coming from. I love that you're like talking about the importance of like having control over every aspect of your music and really making sure that, you know, every part of it from, you know, when you start creating it till when you release it is like being done on your terms, and you're kind of seeing it through to becoming like exactly what you want to see it become.
Can I add something here?
Of course.
We don't want to be like another sort of manufactured band. like we're all very different people, and we all like that to come through in our music. I don't know if these big hand gestures are helping at all, but we like that to be expressed through our music. And so by doing everything ourselves, it kind of oomphs that up a bit, and it's like, boom, the Time Wasters. And you can always tell when something's us because it's got that unique little charm to it. Not to sound narcissistic or anything, but we are very charming people.
Yeah. I love how like that individuality is so important to you, and how you bring that into your music. And I feel like to kind of talk about that. So Party Games includes the song Deadnames Birthday, which was pre-released as a single a year ago now. And Deadnames Birthday takes on a couple different perspectives to kind of highlight the struggle of trans youth in homes where they presumably aren't out yet. And the lyrics play around a lot with pronouns. So could you share why those choices were made?
Oh yeah, Felix, you go first, because then I'm gonna talk about the person that started the whole song concept off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We, like, me and Lucy actually wrote this together on like an hour-long call during the very start of lockdown.
Yeah, it was like really, really early on.
I remember it was Thursday. It was a Thursday because it was the Clap for the Carers thing, and we stopped it to do that. That was a very sweet moment. I am happy about that.
Yeah. The song it's gonna wait for the car to go past. The song, the idea, like the words "Deadnames Birthday," came from like one of our friends who it was her birthday, and she like texted me that, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna write a song about that. That's such a good concept. And then like Phoenix, I told you about it, and then we were like, yes, write the song. So the first verse was like about her and like her on that day, and then we wrote like the second verse, and the first, like, we both wrote it together over Zoom, and I think I've only ever done that once with another person, which was wild. And I really feel like the kind of the way that it's structured is like, it's good.
It's
Yeah.
like throwing something at a dartboard, kind of, because it just lets you sort of go, oh, what about this? No, that doesn't work. Oh, what about this? Ooh.
Fair. And how did it feel to release this song during a time of lockdowns where more trans youth were finding themselves stuck in these kinds of situations that you talk about in the song?
I think it was quite helpful because like we still get like Instagram DMs and like little like messages on like other platforms of like people who are like trans and trans kids and who like say like, I love this song, like help me. And that's such like a weird concept to have, that you could make something that helps somebody. Like, especially because like we've been met with like so much hate for like being us, specifically from like just like a specific like few people, but also just like on like a wider scale. Like, it's much better now than it was, but like at one point, I think it was just after the release of Deadnames Birthday, it was like a day or two after it was released. We were targeted quite heavily by like a few people, which was like awful. But I suppose in the long run, like the amount of good that is come out of us, like, you know, sticking at this and doing this has been beneficial, but not only for us, but for like other people.
Yeah, definitely. But also, I'm sorry to hear that that happened, you know, originally with its release. I think that's a really hard part to especially face that hate when you're, you know, still an emerging artist, because you don't always have a ton of support to, you know, combat that hate or to, you know, kind of make you feel better and make you feel like, you know, that it's not just hate that you're receiving. So I'm really glad that you got to see the other side of that and see all the people that this song supported as well.
I know that after it happened for me, it was really affecting me for like quite a while, because well, I'm trans, and it was like, oh, oh, people don't like me. And that's kind of been something that's always been a bother for me. Like the concept of people not liking me, even when I don't really care about it. Like, even when I don't really think that I care about someone liking me, it still hurts. And it's like, oh, yeah, that exists.
Yeah, that can be really tough to handle, especially when it's, associated with this, intrinsic part of who you are. Because it can kind of be like those people aren't, attacking you as like a person, they're attacking like a particular identity you hold. And it can be kind of hard to, balance those feelings and perceptions. But speaking of kind of this idea of, taking a stand and seeing this kind of backlash outside of the music you release, but naturally very related to how you carry out being a band, is how you stress the importance of accountability in the music scene. I've watched you use social media to call for accountability, show solidarity with other artists, and draw attention to taking actions such as not working with certain people. In, a society and a world, particularly when we look at the arts, where we are kind of told that people need to allow themselves to be exploited to rise up and grow and get attention. Do you have concerns that being direct about the need for accountability, will impact your growth as a band? And if so, or if not, why does it continue to be important to you regardless?
I mean, I think especially like with like certain things that have been going on like in our local scene specifically recently, like I remember like we had conversations about like, do we do this or do we do like this other thing? And I think at the end of the day, it's like, what is gonna be for the greater good? Like, yeah, we might not get like certain gigs round by where we are. We might not play certain venues because we don't want to be associated with that because that's not who we are. But at the same time, just because that, it's also like spreading awareness about it, because definitely like the amount of like non-accountability, like, is that a phrase?
Yes.
Like unaccountable, like people are not taking accountability for their actions, and that's awful. Because if you had like multiple allegations made against you, and you're still like having an internal investigation that's been going on since April, like you're not going to get anywhere with that. People aren't going to support you or your company. And we've got like a decently big platform as well. And I know we've said in interviews in the past, like, we've got this like platform, we've got this like thing that's been gifted to us by the people of the internet. Like, we have to use it. And Matilda, I was talking to you like a little while ago about like using like our platform for good and spreading awareness about stuff. Like, yeah. And we were on about, I can't remember what it was, but it was like we'd gotten like a hate DM from somebody about it, and I can't, what did he say to me about that?
Oh, okay. I think this was a while ago. I think
Can you just not remember?
Lots of people, like lots of big artists that already have that big platform, I suppose they don't really care about if these companies are like big and bad. But as like a smaller band, I feel like we're very close with our fan base, because although we don't have as many followers obviously as like the bigger ones, but I feel like we're kind of like very like close with our fans, that we relate to them a lot, and we don't want to jeopardize that just to get like bigger. Like, we wouldn't want to work with a company that's really bad, or go to a venue that's bad just so we can get more gigs or something. It's more about who we're playing with, and whether our followers can trust us, and that we just have like a nice relationship with them, like a family almost, rather than being like the biggest and the best. It's not really about that. It's more just we don't really care if we're like famous and all that. it's just a nice thing to have like nice fans that you can actually connect with, and that they don't have to be like, oh, they're supporting bad artists, I shouldn't see them anymore, just because that means they can always like, you know, rely on us if we're never gonna go off just to get bigger. I think that's mainly what we talked about. And along with the hate comments, if they're like, you're terrible, just why don't you just do this gig, you know, we're just like, shut up and go away. You know, we don't need your validation. All we care about is the nice people. If the nice people like us and we don't care about the horrible people, leave, you know.
I want that as a tattoo, actually.
Thank you, Phoenix. I will tattoo that personally for you.
Just stick and poke it on.
Leave.
Yeah, I also think that it comes back to like the authenticness of us, like, because like we're very obviously like don't support any of that, and like telling people we actively don't support this and we're against this definitely comes more like the authenticness of us. You can tell that I'm just not like today.
No, yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate like hearing how much thought, you know, it sounds like you've put into this as a band, and, you know, how many conversations you've had about really how you want to carry yourselves and move forward as a group based on, you know, your values and what's important to you. You know, I always think a lot of people think it's always about doing like these big actions, but sometimes it really just is about, you know, making decisions that are rooted in what you think will be best for you and best for your community.
Yeah, exactly. Like we want like our like all of our like social media platforms, and we all want it to like be a safe space for like all people, like regardless of who you are. Like music should be for everybody, like no matter like age, gender, sexuality, whatever, whoever you are. If you're like a person, then you should be able to like have access to music and be able to enjoy things.
Absolutely. And I think that is such a incredible note to end on. So thank you so much for joining me on this week's Tunes Tuesday. If you would like to check out some of the songs we've mentioned today, you can also check out some videos and check out their amazing social media presence. You can check out any of the links below. I highly recommend you do so. And thank you. See you next week. The Timewasters will be playing us out.